I'm gonna go ahead and bring on the Browns guys. We got Adam.
What's up, fellas?
What's
Hey,
up? We got
Skol,
Marty.
fellas.
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
Are
We
we
got
outnumbered?
We got
What's up,
Nate.
Uh-oh, we got 4-4.
What's going on?
Hey, what's up, guys?
We are 4-4, and we were almost going to be outnumbered, but we did have one guy that had to bow out because he got called into work. So it would have been the first time that we got outnumbered, but this is actually the first time that we're 4-4. So thank you guys for joining us. Welcome to our show. Nate, we'll start with you and go across. Just tell us a little bit about your channel and your background as a Browns fan.
All right, so I do flagrant foul with Rich, my dad. Grew up. Can you guys hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So born in Cleveland, been a Browns fan my whole life. Suffered through basically everything. My dad will say that he suffered a little longer, being a Browns fan longer than me. But my first experience as a Browns fan in the playoffs was in 2020. So hasn't been too great for me since then. But yep, we do flagrant foul. We talk about the Browns. We're Notre Dame fans as well, so talk about them. Do a little bit of hockey, the Avalanche, so sports, and then a little bit of also just whatever's going on in the world, anything fun, something random that we could talk about. So, yeah.
All right. So, Rich, you're from Cleveland originally?
I am. Yeah. So originally from Cleveland, Nate was born there. We, traveled around. I'm out in Denver right now. So I'm trying to avenge the Elway years out here and put a jinx on this crappy Broncos team while I'm out here. But yeah, so, grew up during the Sipe Kozar days, went through the whole them moving to Baltimore and then coming back. It's been a pretty brutal last 20 some years here. So, hoping to get it to turn around. It's not looking great right now though.
Yep. All right. And Marty, what's up, man? Tell us a little bit about your guys' channel and your background as a Browns fan.
Yeah, so Adam and I been good friends for a long time now. Decided to start a podcast this season. Actually, we just released, I think, our third episode, I believe it was tonight. But yeah, I've been a Browns fan since I was born. I was about 7 years old with the drive, the fumble, that era, and once '95 came around, they decided to move. It was crushing for a teenage kid.
Oof.
It was devastating, because Pittsburgh's right next door. They're succeeding, and everyone's like, "Oh, why don't you come over to the dark side?" But no way.
Did a lot of Cleveland fans do that? Did they go over to the dark side?
No, actually, believe it or not, a lot of fans turned to the Buffalo. Buffalo fans opened us up, pretty open arms and stuff, and but I never. Yeah, right. Yeah,
you got to remember the Pruitts.
Oh yeah, Pruitt.
Pruitt's was
Yep.
Pruitt's.
Yeah, he actually has a dealership right down the road.
Nice.
But yeah, so we just a couple of us, me and Adam decided to start a podcast, and we're tired of coming home from the games talking to ourselves in the car, so why not?
It's therapeutic, ain't it?
Oh, it is.
Absolutely, especially after a loss, and you get on here and just vent, and then suddenly it's not so bad, and you get on with your day. So, right. What about you, Adam? What's your background as a Browns fan?
Yeah, I was a Bo Jackson fan, so I started as a Raiders fan, and then like every kid in the '90s, I was a Cowboys fan. I liked Michael Irvin. Then it was the Titans with Eddie George. But yeah, no, I was a kid, so I was focused on players, and then I say this, I went tailgating for the first time, and at the Muni lot, and that was it, and I was hooked from the Browns. It's y'all ever get up to Cleveland, and you got to come in the beginning of the season though. That's when it's the best. Gets to the middle of the season, it kind of fades away. But Marty and I have had season tickets for 12 years. We're in the town. We're there at every game. Either rain, sleet, snow, shine, win, loss, whatever it is. So. We were at that Packers game, and it was probably one of the best games I've been to, and I've been to a lot of games. So that's saying a lot when that's one of the best games I've been to. But yeah, so I probably since 2008, 2007, somewhere around there is when I kind of became a Browns fan, and it's been that way ever since. And I just continue to take the punishment. I guess I don't know.
We know a little bit about punishment on this side too. I mean,
We're going to be able to commiserate a little bit, fellas.
Yeah. So Rich, what was the expectations among Browns fans coming into this season, and has that changed at all now that we're in week 4?
So if you probably ask any of the 4 of us on here, we're delusional and we're going 17-0 every year. We're at 14-3 right now going into week 5. But no, I think defensively, we thought the line was going to be tough. Some questions about the back end. I think in the linebacker spot, I think we had Carson Schwarzenegger, like great pickup, but we're a little concerned what was going to happen on the other side there on the offense. We're young, a lot of unproven players, a lot of exciting players. I think now we feel awesome about the rookies, but coming into the season, I think realistic expectations were probably fairly low. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for answering my question earlier. That Keith wanted the injured.
What was that? Cody?
You guys are a bad team, correct?
What was that?
You guys are a bad team. Like you're a 5-win team.
So I'll say, yeah, they're a bad team right now. It's frustrating as a Browns fan to watch an elite defense be wasted on this kind of sorry offense right now. I'm always going to be hopeful. Right now our division outside, of course, the Steelers every year just decide to be good, and I can't figure it out, and the rest of the division is just wallowing away. So, who knows? I mean, they straight, catch lightning in a bottle here with Dylan, or even ends up being Shedeur, or maybe they turn things around. I don't know. It's early in the year.
Let me ask you about that. What was your general reaction when they did that? They drafted Dylan, and then what was it? Two rounds later, they drafted Shedeur. Did you say, well, for a 5th rounder, that's great, or were you like, why?
So if you're asking me, I mean, I wanted Shedeur early. I just thought, we weren't going to get a Cam Ward. Obviously we didn't have the number 1 pick. And I think after that, Shedeur was kind of my guy. It was awesome to see him fall. Once they went with Dylan, I thought that the day was over. It was nice to get Shedeur, but a head scratcher that they went back to back there. I don't know. It appears they have a plan. What it is, I don't know. Well, I guess we'll find out, but yeah.
Anybody have a different take on that? Any of you guys, other guys have a different take on that?
Yeah, for me, I think that their mindset going into the draft was, at the time, what they had was Kenny Pickett and Joe Flacco on the roster. I think once the 3rd round came, they seen Gabriel, which I think it was a reach for him, in the 3rd round, especially hearing, people were saying around the 4th or 5th round. But I think once the 5th round came, I think they valued that pick for Shedeur is too hard to pass up. So whether they were in his plans or not, they'd probably just say for 5th round, if it pans out, great. If not, and it's shown right now. To me, it's the notion is, why isn't Shedeur getting any time? Why isn't he getting any reps? Well, let's be honest, he's a 5th round pick. Whether people believe it or not, he's a 5th round pick. And the media out here is glamorizing this guy, giving him interviews and all this shit. What other team is doing interviews with a 3rd string quarterback,
Yeah.
Yeah,
So Nate, what do you think about them making the switch from Flacco to Gabriel this week?
I'm a certified Joe Flacco hater. I was upset when they brought him back, to be honest. I just think I don't understand why we're wasting our time with him. We have 2 first-round picks going into next year's draft. It would be awesome to do that, or go into that draft, not have to worry about a quarterback. We have 1, maybe 2 years on Flacco, and that's the maximum. So why waste our time with him? Why not see what we're doing? We got in our rookies. So I'm excited to see Dylan Gabriel. He can't be worse than Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco came in supposed to be the veteran guy that made the easy things easy, made the right decisions, and he's not doing that. Quite frankly, I think the rookies can play just as good as he has. He hasn't shown me anything that says that he's a veteran quarterback. So I'm excited to see Dylan. I'm hoping he can bring a little spark to the offense. Rookies have been great so far. But I do like Shedeur, so I'm hoping that if things don't work out with Dylan Gabriel, I would like to see Shedeur get his chance. I honestly had Shedeur going number 2. I wanted him with the 2nd overall pick. Whether he is a 2nd overall pick talent, I don't know. But I just wanted something to be excited for going into this season. Just where everyone's saying we're going to start the season 0-7, but like bringing someone like Shedeur to Cleveland, people are going to come to the game to see Shedeur. There's going to be hype around the Browns just for him, and I want something to be excited for aside from, we're going to go watch Joe Flacco play 17 games. So I'm excited that they're switching it up.
All right. Well, on the flip side, Cody, what do you think about the switch from Flacco to Gabriel?
I loved the switch from Flacco to Gabriel. I love the plan. I think I see what's going on in Cleveland. I think Shedeur Sanders is going to be y'all's future. I just think you don't want to throw him into the fire right away into this pro level game of football, right? I think you drafted Flacco for veteran presence in the locker room, knowing that he's not going to compete in all 17 games this year. And you drafted Dylan Gabriel, throw him to the fire just to see what you have with Gabriel, knowing that you can get Sanders back where you got him at, right? So you throw Sanders or you throw Flacco out there. He's not going to play all 17 games. Gabriel on the fire. See what he got. If he's good, he's good. Awesome. You got Gabriel and you got Sanders out there for a backup. But you throw him to the fire, he does bad. Your future's already set in stone with Sanders because you're progressing him. It's almost like what we did with J.J. McCarthy with the injury in a way, right? I don't think we wanted to throw J.J. McCarthy out there in the Wolves right away because he needed more development, right? And he still needs more development after watching the first 2 games this year. I think you guys had the right plan and the right move. I think Sanders is going to be your future. You're just progressing him the smart way.
Yeah.
Fish, what do you think about them going with Gabriel against Brian Flores' defense?
My head says, great move for us this week. I mean, maybe down the road that's going to work out for y'all. Great, but my heart says that we have this way of making quarterbacks that we should just stomp the shit out of, looking like, Steve Young. So I've got that innate fear in my heart, but I feel like it's going to bode well for our ability for our defense to play around with him and keep it a low scoring game.
You got anything to add to that, Adam, about this quarterback switch?
I mean, honestly, I love it. I am with Nate. I absolutely hate Joe Flacco. All of our fans, for some reason, just gravitated toward the dude that beat the crap out of us for 17 years or however long it was. And then he comes back and he looks like an all-star, and then he throws 2 back-to-back pick sixes in a playoff game and single-handedly loses a playoff game. And then the fans still want him back because they hate Deshaun Watson that much. I'm glad. I'm excited to see what Gabriel does. I think it's going to be basically the same offense that you've seen with Joe Flacco, but quicker. You probably didn't see any of their preseason games, but he was accurate. He's throwing these passes right where they need to be, on the money, quickly. He can get out of the pocket. He's not going to just get swallowed up like Joe Flacco did. He's too old. He was too immobile. It just didn't make any sense to me. I get, probably starting him for the first few games to, let the rookies kind of learn. But there's been a big thing in the media here where, we want to find the perfect spot to put Dylan Gabriel in. We can't start him in Minnesota because it's a short practice week. We can't put him the next game because it's in Pittsburgh and we haven't won in Pittsburgh in so long. And, I say, just rip the Band-Aid off. What more can we lose? Obviously, we're not going to win with Joe Flacco. He's not the guy. And I'm happy to see it. I'm nervous about the Brian Flores defense. I'm not gonna lie. And honestly, with Flacco, all the other teams, all they've been doing is rushing 4 and dropping 7, and that's why they've looked so bad because he doesn't have anybody to throw to because they're all covered. So it'll be interesting to see how he brings his patented blitzes on this young kid and see what he can do with it.
So the chat's asking, since he was our old offensive coordinator, how you guys feel about Stefanski as your coach?
I'll on him. I mean, he frustrates me, right? I think, we had high hopes. He's done some good here. I'm starting to wonder if the locker room's tuning him out a little bit. He hasn't proved that he can pull head coach and play calling duties as well. So that's a question mark. Really? It's a real head scratcher to me right now. We'll see. I think they continue losing. I don't know how you keep the guy. I have similar thoughts with Andrew Berry. I think Berry and Stefanski. If I'm the owner, they're on a short leash right now. I'd like to see Barry maybe go into a president role, work the cap. We hire a new GM. Stefanski, I don't know what you guys think, but I haven't. He's a lot of questionable decisions. The first drive of last week is about all you need to know about Stefanski, particularly the first and goal. So,
you agreeing with him, Marty, or are the going against what you think?
No, I kind of agree with him. Stefanski, right when we hired him, he was supposed to be this offensive guru, pretty good with quarterbacks. Obviously, Baker's no longer here, so I don't know why that couldn't have worked out between the two, but that's a whole nother topic. But I think the play calling is questionable. First and goal, and you're doing you go back-to-back QB sneaks with Joe Flacco when you have a young Quinshon Judkins that could just go right up the middle, run it 4 times. He's an Ivy League guy, so I think he tries to outsmart everybody, instead of just keeping it simple. But I think the play calling is kind of questionable in certain situations. That's, like Rich was saying, as far as trying to do the play calling and being a head coach, I think it's been hit and miss for him.
Yeah, the chat was asking that, so I had to get that one out there. What would you say is the offensive identity of the Browns? Are they a running team? Like that's how I picture the Browns, but I haven't watched them this year. Are they more of a running team, or are you guys more of a passing team? Whoever wants to take it.
I think they go for it.
I was gonna say, I mean, they're definitely a running team with Judkins. The first week they couldn't really get much going with Sampson, but since Judkins has come in, he's been running it great. Before that it was Nick Chubb, and it was always questionable. I mean, you guys probably know, it was always questionable with his running backs. Stefanski, it didn't seem like he knew what to do with a good running back. And, it seems they're trying to get back to that. But I think it was also with Flacco. It's hard to throw. But, his first 2 games, he threw 45 times. So, that's and I think he threw for 38 the third game. So, I mean, he wants to throw the ball. That's what he wants to do. But we should be a running team because our running game is that much better than our passing game. Now, with Gabriel, maybe it changes, but we've always usually been a running team. But again, I do question Stefanski on how well he can manage running backs.
Yeah. We had the same issue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I echo, what Adam says, but we want to be a running game team, but to be determined right now, right? So the runs are uncreative. We can't get anything going in the pass game. So, if that continues this week, Florida's defense is going to eat it alive. So I think that's what they would like to do. They have the horses to do it finally. But, we got to get something going in the passing game and downfield. These screens and short yardage plays, underneath to the backs and the tight ends aren't going to get it done.
So, Shaq, you're hearing that they want to be a running team, but they're kind of, passing a little more than they like, but they're also doing a lot of screens and underneath stuff. How do you think our defense stacks up against an offense like that?
Well, if they stay committed to, quick passes in the run game, then that's the best way to beat a Flores defense. Don't let the pressure get to the quarterback and then always having our secondary have to react. I would say Stefanski suffers from early in his career. He had Adrian Peterson, and he kind of didn't really need to scheme plays for Adrian Peterson. And then once he became a head coach, he kind of was like, well, all I need is a running back who would get yards on his own, and I'll kind of do play action and scheme around that. So I feel like if y'all just stay committed to the run game, put Judkins, Sampson, mix them up, and then just do play action here and there, it should work out for y'all. Not just this game, but for the season. And then, see what y'all have. Whoever the better play action quarterback for y'all is can lead y'all to, back to the playoffs.
Cody, how do you think the Vikings?
Fellas, the good news is, fellas, is that if you're having a tough time getting your running game started, just follow the model the Steelers just used, and it'll get back on track against us anyway.
Cody, how do you think the Vikings defense is going to welcome the Cleveland Browns?
I think the Vikings defense is probably going to own the Cleveland Browns. I'm going to say this. It's like us with our guard position the past 15 years. Like, we couldn't draft a guard to save our lives, right? it's the same thing for you guys. Ever since Joe Thomas left you, it hasn't been good on that blind side, in my opinion. And you haven't really went out to go out and find a replacement for Joe Thomas. You got our old left tackle, our backup, Cam Robinson, starting for you. And we know how Cam Robinson plays when the pressure comes on that side. He's not Darisaw, and he's not, for sure as hell, is not Joe Thomas. So I think our defense is going to scream on Cam Robinson. I think our defense knows who Cam Robinson is. Brian Flores definitely knows who Cam Robinson is. He's probably sent the blitz a lot of times during offseason and training camp against Cam Robinson and during practices. So I think our defense is definitely going to give you guys a really hard time, especially Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah. So, Nate, what do you think is the key for the Browns to come away victorious in this game?
I honestly don't think that they need to do much different than it seems like the defense. Let's go back to the Packers game. The defense played fantastic the whole game. And even the Ravens game, the score didn't reflect how the defense had played. Once the floodgates were open, that game got out of hand. But the defense has been playing well. And I think that if the offense can just put together some longer drives, they don't need to score a touchdown on every play, but don't go 3 and out. If they can give their defense a little bit more of a break, I think the defense will have some better chances to hold strong and stay throughout the entire game. So I don't know. I feel like they don't need to change the play calling that they've been using for their first 4 games. I think fit Dylan Gabriel better with the play action. He's a mobile quarterback. Joe Flacco, he doesn't move. He doesn't move. So I think that the scheme that they've been using would work with Dylan Gabriel's game a lot better. I think keep feeding the rookie running backs and let Gabriel do his thing. Don't keep him on a short leash, because I think a short leash looks like throwing screens and 5-yard passes the entire game. Like, go out and let him do his thing, and I think he would be okay. I mean, I thought that they were going to beat the Lions after the Packers game. That didn't work out so well, so take that with a grain of salt. But
Marty, same question. What do you think? How's the game have to go for the Browns to win it?
Well, I think you guys' pass defense is ranked in the top 5 in the league right now, and your run defense is kind of at the bottom. So if I was Stefanski, I would kind of do a little bit of double tight, try and get some more protection up there and try and run the ball. But that's the only way I see being successful against you guys' defense, is trying to get some protection up on the front and just ground and pound, play some AFC North smash mouth football. But what's going to happen is, Gabriel's probably going to throw 40 times because it's the you guys are going to have a couple picks, and it's going to be the same old dance with us.
So, I mean, our offensive line is pretty beat up, and you guys do have a pretty good defense. Fish, how do you think we're going to combat their defense with our patchwork offensive line?
Kind of like what Marty just said, we're going to have to incorporate Oliver to help out with the blocking scheme. Is Ham playing? I know he practiced. We might have to go max protect. And we definitely have to feed Jordan Mason a lot. And I mean a lot. I've actually been saying to these guys this week, fellas, that my biggest concern in this game is now Mason Graham, because we really don't know who our center is. Our left guard is out, and our right guard's been So my concern is that Mason Graham's going to get us from the interior with the pass rush. We have to max protect and get max protect and get the ball out and really run that rock.
Is Myles Garrett going to play, guys?
Yeah.
They always just put, like last week, questionable. It's just been a common thing with him lately. It's just putting him questionable, and he's a go. He'll be a go.
Yeah. What about your linebacker JOK?
So
go ahead, Adam.
I was gonna say I don't know if you guys saw, he tweeted out last week or week before, something about a new star being born. It was kind of cryptic. But to me, I mean, to fans, what it sounded like is he could be back next year, and we're real hopeful because before he got hurt last year, it was I mean he was coming along, and I could just think with him and Schlesinger next to each other, like that's a dangerous linebacker combo with Myles Garrett and Mason Graham up front. I mean that's a tough four for anybody. So we're hopeful that he's going to come back. They really don't. They haven't released a lot of information. I mean, we don't even know really what the injury is other than his neck. Like that's all they give us. We literally still don't have any idea what actually happened to him. So, but that mysterious tweet made it sound like he's looking to come back next year. So I'm hopeful that that's the case.
Yeah, that was the takeaway. I think, yeah, definitely not something this year. I will say, it sucks not having him. Nate's made a little bit of a believer out of me this year. I was definitely worried about that other side. Devin Bush has played really well.
Yes, he has.
I mean, been a pleasant surprise. So, he's not Jock, but I still think our linebackers are playing great.
Yeah.
Do you guys believe that you have the top defense in the league?
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
If we had an offense to complement it, not just a top 15 offense, I think
Yeah.
it could be. But the way it's going, they're showing they can be, but it's hard statistically because of the way our offense is.
It's kind of like us.
Yeah. Well, it's like last year, our defense looked like crap, but it's because we kept going 3 and out, and they play 40 minutes of a 60-minute game. Any defense is going to get tired. I always say that the Eagles, they had great defense last year. It's part of most of the reason they won the Super Bowl last year. And if you put that offense that the Cleveland Browns put out there, that defense doesn't look as good. And it's you're seeing it like we mentioned with the Ravens game. We kept with them for a half, but the 3 and outs and the time on the field, that's what happened at the end of that game. As our defense got tired, they're throwing over the top and getting easy touchdowns on us because these guys have been out there for too long. And that's really the main issue. Like when the Packers, you saw it was going back and forth. It was they're moving it and they're punting. They're moving it, they're punting. If we can move the ball and keep the defense off the field, we're a top defense. But it's when that offense just sputters, that's what happens. So it happened with Detroit last game. They good drive on the first one and then couldn't get anything going. You see what happened at the end of the game.
Those first half points are very important, right?
Mm-hmm.
Freaking Cody. Cody's been driving that thing home for about a week now. So we just had a question in the comments. Who deserves more credit for you guys' defense, Myles Garrett or your defensive coordinator?
Schwartz.
I mean, I think it's Schwartz, but it always helps to have a Myles Garrett on the defense with you. But he's a piece of a collection of really good players over there. But I think Schwartz he's the engine that makes that run.
He's made that defense cohesive, and I mean, we already had great players on the team. Denzel Ward's a top corner. Drafting Mason Graham to stop the run. Myles Garrett, obviously, drafting Schlesinger. Like they mentioned, Devin Bush. He's been great this year. We lost a cornerback, but that's putting that group together. He's making them believe. He's making them. A full on we're the defense, and that's what we're going to do.
Is that do y'all still got Newsom, Greg Newsom?
I was just about to say if that's going to be a matchup to where if I don't know who would he cover?
Probably Addison.
Probably
Addison.
Yeah. Newsom to me he's suspect. Like that's a weakness you can attack. Believe me, like he's not a shutdown corner. He gives up big plays, so I think that's a matchup to see for you guys to try and attack him to have some success on the ground, the passing game.
Yeah.
I 100% agree on Newsom as a weak link, but I think he's been a lot better with his tackling specifically this year. He has had a lot more like wrap up tackles compared to like just diving at people in recent years. But yeah, it hurts losing Martin Emerson. Not having him this entire year really shows. We're like, if we have Martin Emerson, I say absolutely we're the best defense in the league, but that's like one more corner or someone to replace like the Ronnie Hickman, like Rayshawn Jenkins role. Like one of those guys away from being the top defense.
All right. Well, I don't know how much Vikings football you guys consume. So, do you guys have any questions about this Viking team that you guys are going to face early in the morning on Sunday?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, what are you guys expecting out of Carson Wentz out there? I think what do you say, Marty, that he got 12 sacked 12 times last game?
Well, no, I think he got pressured about 12 times. I think he was sacked 6.
Sacked
Sacked
6.
six
Yeah.
times.
So I mean, what do you guys? I guess I will. It's a two-part. Like, what do you think? You think JJ McCarthy is the answer? When do you think he's coming back? And then what do you think Wentz is going to do this game?
Go ahead, Cody.
I think Wentz against your defense, I think it'll be similar to what we played the Pittsburgh defense. I think the Pittsburgh defense is just as good, in my opinion. You guys do slow down in the second half, and I think that's where we got you, and I think that's where Wentz will start going off. Because, again, you guys get tired. It's kind of like us, right? Our defense is constantly on the field in that first half, and then we kind of struggle towards the end of the game with that defense. And I think we're going to see the same thing here. I think Carson Wentz will go off in that second half. I'm hoping he scores us points in the first half, though. In the red zone, we start getting it in the end zone.
So, to a second part, Shaq, do you think JJ McCarthy is the answer to this team?
He's gonna have to be. He's gonna have to be because, like, KOC and Brian Force, KOC and Quasi basically said, well, we don't need Sam Darnold from last year, and he's the best quarterback in that draft class last year. So I'm gonna believe in KOC. Like I said, when we drafted JJ McCarthy, we just got to give him a chance to develop. He's not gonna just come out here and be Patrick Mahomes as soon as he start playing his first couple of games. It's not how NFL progression works. It takes time for a quarterback to develop. It's one of the hardest positions to get to the next level. So you just got to be patient. I believe JJ McCarthy could be that quarterback, and we just got to get that run game going.
Also, do you think they should have kept Sam Darnold?
No.
Oh, yes, the wrong guy.
Yes.
Oh, you had to ask Chad that question.
14-3, and you want to keep him? That's crazy. All right.
So I know how far we're getting with Sam Darnold. It's how we've been seeing the past 20 years of Minnesota Vikings is the first round and we're done. Maybe get to the second round, and that's a maybe. That's it. We're not getting no conference championships. We're not getting to the Super Bowl. Our goal right now is Super Bowl. We haven't seen one. No one is here in this lifetime has seen a Vikings Super Bowl being played.
Or Browns Super Bowl.
Or Browns.
I had to do it.
Vikings got a championship.
Who was alive for that?
You guys were in the.
Hey, we got 8 of them.
Yeah.
We've also got the miracle at the Met.
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Talking about imaginary numbers now.
I will say, though, your guys' teams with Culpepper and Chris Carter and them, those teams are fun to watch. The late 90s. That to me was a good team that surprisingly never really won anything, in my opinion.
Yeah, us too. We won 15 games. Woohoo.
Yeah. Been announced.
What about you, Nate? Rich, you got any questions about the Vikings?
Yeah, just for me, give me a couple guys to look out for this weekend that we should keep our eye on. Maybe some guys that you don't necessarily, aren't getting the press.
Cody.
Yeah, I didn't want to say one. I had Levi Drake Rodriguez last week, and he totally shit the bed. His first 3 weeks entering week 4 was amazing when he got in the field. Low key player. I'm gonna go with back what I said in week 2 when he did play very well in week 2. I'm gonna go back to Theo Jackson, our other full safety out there. 17 snaps for Harrison Smith last week. Something's up with the guy, and he's old. The hitman ain't the hitman no more. He's more like the let him go man. You know what I'm saying? He's no longer the fixer. He's the problem. So I think Theo Jackson is the guy to be watching out for this game, especially with Dylan Gabriel and him hunting center field. I think he gets an interception this game. I think he might be Fish's catch also.
Overtime.
Oh, that worked out good last time. Fish, who's a player that they should watch out for? They might not.
I believe I said it last week, and I'm gonna reiterate this. Jalen Redmond. He got 2 sacks against the Steelers. First play of the game, he sacked Rodgers. The guy is just showing up. And all I can say is he's got a great interior pass rush. He's a nice complement and rotation piece behind Hargraves and Allen. He's somebody to watch out for.
What about you guys? Who's a Brown that us Viking fans might not know about? Not a household name, but you guys definitely know him as an impact player.
I'll just go if there's a silver lining to this season, our rookie class has been great, including some of the undrafted free agents. I'll throw Isaiah Bond in there. I think that's a guy to look out for this weekend. I think that is a potential downfield threat connection with Dylan Gabriel. Guy I absolutely love, Aiden Huntington, playing both sides of the ball. He's just a baller. So those are two that pop in my mind right now out of these rookie class.
Yeah, I'd say.
You guys got anybody else?
I'd say Fanning. He's played pretty solid the first couple games. Going into it, Njoku was Flacco's guy, and it seemed to switch. And there's probably that rookie connection with Gabriel and Fanning there. So he's probably going to get a lot of looks. And like he mentioned, the blanking on who he just said, but yeah, Fanning would probably be my guy to look out for. And we'll see though. We'll see how Gabriel does with Njoku now because Flacco wasn't thrown to him. So, and Isaiah Bond, yeah, with Tillman on IR, I think Bond's going to get a lot of looks.
You got one, Nate?
Yeah, I was gonna say we do have Cedric Tillman out, DeAndre Carter out as well. He's been a returner mostly, though. He hasn't really taken many reps actually as receiver. I think someone to look out for. Jamari Thrash seems to be playing more and more every week. Also, I'm a big fan of Malik Collins, him teaming up with Mason Graham. I feel like he's done quite well on that defensive line. And then we've already mentioned it, but I think Devin Bush has done great at linebacker. He's filled in very nicely for JOK. It would be great to see JOK and Carson Schlesinger together, but Devin Bush has been kind of put the stamp on every play. It seems like he just goes to the ball. So guys are going to have an impact this week.
Kind of lost your sound there a little bit. You got one, Marty?
Well, they pretty much
take them all.
Yeah, I'm going to say our punter, man.
Marty's like Myles Garrett. Y'all ever heard of him?
Carson Schlesinger to me is just, I'm a big college guy too. And what he did last year, I think he led the nation in tackles. What he's bringing to the defense is going to be, it's showing, it's stepping in right away, man.
Is that Carson Schlesinger related to the Lions' great fullback, Corey Schlesinger?
I'm not too sure on that. I couldn't give you an answer.
Look that one up.
Is that the safety from South Carolina?
What's that?
No, that's not the safety, right? The rookie from South Carolina.
Who's that?
No.
No, he's a linebacker.
No, linebacker from UCLA.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look that up.
Another name, Larvadan.
It's a different last name, Cody, altogether.
You're gonna hear Larvadan a lot if he gets in. I'm telling you that right now. That was all they talked about on preseason. So,
what does he play?
He's a wide receiver. So they might put him back there to return kicks. I'm not 100% sure, but he was definitely a big part of our preseason. So he's one. They just activated him from the practice squad. So
yeah,
Gage Larvadan.
All right, so we got another question for you guys from Tommy. He wants to know what your guys' kick return like, because we have a kick returner, Miles Price, who sometimes he's a little dangerous with the ball, but he's also kind of shifty, and we kind of all expect him to break one this season. Like, do we have that opportunity this game?
A couple.
So, yes.
A couple of chances.
That's we didn't mention that early. Achilles heel special teams is, on both sides. That's a scary prospect for us.
Do you guys kick it 8 yards into the end zone every time?
No, you're talking about the kickoff?
Yeah, you guys kick it off 8 yards in the end zone every time.
No, they tend to kick it in the return zone. It seems like the NFL tried to fix that, and they're doing all the.
Don't worry about it, Cody. There ain't going to be a lot of kickoffs in this game.
There might be a lot of punts. There'll be a lot of punts,
Yeah.
so we got the advantage on you there with Borges. But like you saw last week with Detroit, we try to pin them on the sideline, and they just run the other way and return it for a touchdown. So
this could be the game, guys. This could be the game for Price.
yeah, I would imagine.
Since preseason, we've been saying that he's going to take one. So that's actually good to hear.
And our return game's non-existent. Like I said, with DeAndre Carter was our returner, and he just went on IR. I personally like Jerome Ford back there. I thought Jerome Ford was a great return. He gets that head of steam, run right through it. That's his best. That's the best. He's not good running, getting the ball and then taking off. He gets the ball and has nobody in front of him.
Is Jerome Ford still with you guys?
Yeah. He's the second / third string running back. I don't know. He
just keeps falling down the depth chart.
He gets put in the weirdest positions, and then Stefanski will run the dumbest run for him. It's just a weird situation. If he gets in, you'll notice it. Why is he running him that way? So kind of what he used to do with Nick Chubb and do these long stretches with Nick Chubb, and it's then you're getting tackled in the backfield. It's why are we doing these long stretches with Nick Chubb? So.
He's had an odd role because, the first week Dylan Sampson had a great game as a rookie, and then, we got Judkins back. Sampson's on side of a milk carton somewhere, and Ford has literally been the other back that's come in the game. So I will say the last game wasn't bad. I could go with not seeing him carry the ball again.
Ever.
But yes, ever. But, on a return note, I would say the four of us are probably all heads down doing one of these literally every turn, because just catching the ball cleanly is a challenge.
Yeah, I think they're utilizing Ford more as far as pass protection. He's coming in on third downs, and Sampson can't protect he can't protect anybody. So I think that's what they're really using Ford now, is just pass protection.
All right, well, now it's time to make our predictions for this game. And normally what I would do is I'd have you guys go, then we go, but I'm gonna switch it up a little bit different and go back and forth. So Michael Fish, why don't you go ahead and lead off the predictions?
Minnesota Vikings 13, Cleveland Browns 10.
That's awful. If I wake up at 6:30 in the morning, you know what? I'll be happy with it.
It'll be a win for you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say before I'm like, oh, we're gonna win like that. That'd be terrible. No, I'm just gonna take a win at this point.
Keith says a W is a W.
A win is a win, guys. I always preach that to these guys, and they tell me, no, there's nuance to victory, this and that. Nah, win's a win.
Win's a win.
Nate, what do you got?
I'm going to go Browns 17, Vikings 14.
Ooh.
Low score.
Low scoring. Man, all right, so that puts it on me, and I said I wasn't going to do this, but then I do it. I got the Vikings winning this game 30-12.
Such these odd numbers so he gets points in last place.
No, they're going to get 4 field goals, Cody. 4 field goals. They're not getting in the end zone.
He's trying to get these numbers up. That's actually the same score. I was going to do your route.
Well, you got time to do an audible because we got Rich now. What's your prediction for this game, Rich?
Yeah, my prediction, I'm going with my heart, not my head on this one. I'm going 14-10 Browns.
Okay, so you guys got 3 low ones and then me just doing the stupid thing, but going with my heart as well, I guess. What do you got, Cody?
I was going to go 30-12 also, not going to lie. But I'm going to go with, let's just make it simple, 31-13. Minnesota Vikings. I think we take over in the second half and definitely start dominating.
All right, Marty?
Similar to Nate, but I'm going to go 17-13 Browns. I think it's going to be a defensive battle on both sides. I just don't see Carson Wentz. That's the way I think the Browns are going to say, if you're going to beat us, we're going to shut down the run game. Carson Wentz, just try and see what you got. But I think it's going to be low scoring, 17-13 Browns. And
you guys are definitely predicting a Vikings-Browns game overseas right now. Like that, like when you hear that, you think exactly what you guys are saying. Like I was saying earlier, the spread is 36.5. I mean, the over/under is 36.5 points, and that's the lowest of any NFL game this year. So, yeah, I'm the odd man here. All right, Shaq, what do you got?
I'm going Vikings win 17 points.
Your mic was like muted or not muted, but muffled.
17-10 Vikings.
Okay, there you go. 17-10 Vikings. So Shaq's sticking with it. All right, Adam, are you going to complete the homerism here between all of us? What do you got?
Yeah. I predicted it earlier. I said 21-17 Browns.
21-17 Browns. All right, at
And I
least that's
started
some
when you
scoring.
said 36.5, and I'm like, man, it probably should be like 21-14 just to slide in that under, because that's what they're gonna do. So, but I'm gonna stick with what I said earlier today. I'm gonna say 21-17 Browns.
Yeah.
All right. Well, just so you guys know, we do go live after the game immediately. I don't know if you guys do the same thing, but if you don't and you guys want to hop on and talk about the game, win or lose, feel free to come on and join us. We had Steeler fans come on after last week. It's cool. It's all respectful. So if you guys want to come on and jump on after, we will be here. I'll shoot you guys a link. But if you guys are doing your own thing, that's cool too. You guys got any final words on this?
I'll just say there's a lot of Browns Vikings crossover. I know you got a lot of former Browns on your coaching staff, and we've both been going through it with quarterbacks over the last 25 years. So a lot of parallels, two tough divisions, overseas. I think it's going to be a fun game either way.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah,
hopefully it's not.
I just want to thank you guys for having us on here, man. It's pretty awesome. Like I said, Marty and I are just trying to get started, and it was cool for you guys to reach out. It's good to talk to other fans. I enjoy this. I know we all do. So I appreciate you guys giving us a chance and having us on, because it's been awesome talking with you guys.
Yeah, no, there'll be more opportunities. Like, I subscribe to you guys, so I'll be like checking on you guys and inviting you guys back, especially during the off season and stuff. Like when we just want to talk football and talk about the landscape, get other fans' perspective. So definitely, can do this kind of stuff again. But show up on Sunday if you guys are available. Nate, Marty, any final words?
I just want to go ahead. Go ahead,
Nate.
You got it.
You guys are too nice. Go ahead, Marty. Go ahead, Marty.
I actually went to Detroit last weekend for the game, and the fans, it is what it is. But I'm like, you're Lions fans. I don't know why you're talking shit. So hopefully you guys can.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You sound like fish.
Yeah. Hopefully you guys can take care of that for me.
Well, the thing is, Marty, you saying you went to Detroit to watch that game, and we're like, oof. None of us live in Minnesota, by the way. We all live in different parts, of the country, and we went to the Vikings-Falcons game and didn't see a damn touchdown. So.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be honest. I'm getting married on Saturday, and if I wasn't, he would have been in London. So you got to give him props. He was like, "I'm going to." We would both be in London, but that's a bucket list game.
You might as well have done that. I don't know if you're gonna get too many opportunities once you get married to go ahead and make that decision.
Well, getting married is going to probably be a lot better than what we're going to watch on Sunday. So,
no, you predicted a victory, bro. Come on,
I got to be positive.
You better sell that. You better sell that thing.
Wife's going to be watching. Yeah, you better say that.
I'm probably going to be pretty hungover at 9:30 in the morning watching it.
That's true. That's true. It's 6:30 in the morning for me. Damn it.
All
right, Nate. Final words.
Rich and I just want to thank you guys for having us on. Appreciate it. It's been fun talking with you guys. Win or lose, I'm glad that we did this. This was a cool opportunity to kind of get our name out there and meet some new fans. So we had a great time. Thank you for having us.
All right, fellas. Well, not good luck. I can't wish it. We need this win probably more than you guys need it. But safety, no injuries. Let's just root for no injuries and a good game.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, usually
I agree.
We're a lot meaner, but we can't kick a team when they're down. Just can't do it.
Hey, we can't kick a team that's so close to us, Cody. That's what it is.
Hey, we're used to a lot of
similarities here. So.
Yeah, they invited us to the table. We're on the high pedestal now. We here. We like, well.
Trust me, fellas. On the Thursday before the Lions come here, if some Lions fans get on with us, I'm not going to be so nice.
I can see that for sure. I can see that.
Yeah.
All right, fellas. Well, I'll send you the link on Sunday, and if you can join. If not, we'll do it again at some other time.
All right,
awesome.
Appreciate
Thanks
you
a
guys.
lot, guys.
Hey.